What's goody, what's popping, y'all? Welcome back to another video. Today we'll be breaking down my trans that was in my car originally. We was having weird problems with it. I kept saying, like, I feel like the transfer case, we having that loud like whining noise that was coming from the car. I officially found out what it was. So I took the transfer case out, right? And everything looks good. Everything on the inside looks good. But look at this. This thing is chewed. I don't know if y'all can see that. Those gears on the transfer case are chewed. That's why we was getting that loud whining noise. And even the transfer case is getting stuck a little bit. It tells me that there's bits of that inside. So that's why we was getting that whining noise the whole time. Like every time we go over like 40. We get that whining noise because of everything is chipped. Look, you see it's like all grinded up right here. Every little bit is chipped. And surprisingly, I didn't blow up a transfer case. It's not blown up. It's still a good case. It probably needs a little buffing and everything like that, but I wouldn't use it. Personally, I wouldn't use it unless I cleaned it out and done everything inside. But that transfer case is definitely done. So, like I said, we got a new one. Leave that alone, Tank. Get out of there. Get out of my parts. So, like I was saying, a lot of stuff is, we have a lot of brand new stuff. The transfer case is going to be brand new. The gears for this thing is going to be good. We're going to take these gears out and we're going to inspect these gears as well as this, like we just inspected the transfer case. So, I'm going to put this up on the table. We're going to, break it down. Yes, we're on my dinner table again because I have nowhere else to work because it's cold and I don't want to work in my storage. So, I'm going to put it back on the table. Crack it open, get everything out of it, and try to see what else is done inside and what we can reuse. I'm not reusing the case, and I got two brand new cases inside my car, so we're gonna try to figure this out. All right, so now that we have the transmission on the table, we're gonna do, you already know, take these bolts out so we can get the whole top cover off so we can expose the gear stacks. I'm not going to be recording this one in depth like I did the other one. I'll post a link to the other video where I broke down the transmission. This one's going to be like me skipping through because I already did this. And I also don't have my tripod, so we got to just work with it. So let me get this all knocked out, get the cover off, and then we can look at the gear stacks. All those metal shards, even on the magnet, look at that. It's all aluminum. Sparkly aluminum. So that's the transfer case. Just inside of the transfer case is probably tore the hell up. So most of these bearings I don't want to reuse. Look, good thing I have a bunch of backup bearings, but I don't want to reuse these bearings because any of these little bits can be in the bearings. Yeah, so we wasn't going to reuse this case anyway because this case was giving me a problem. So I'm gonna try to reuse everything I got already and try to fix this. So let's start to snatch these out and start to build our next gear stack. All right, so far I haven't found anything else messed up. I still haven't took out our LSD, but I do see like little metal shavings all up within the inside the bearings. Like I said, I'm not gonna reuse this, so I'm not really worried about it. Did take out the gear stack. The gear stacks that are here are perfect, but with needle bearings, you don't want metal shavings inside of them because that can trash a needle bearing. So I'm not gonna reuse these. I'm gonna build my own. I have another set laying over there. So what I'm going to do is mimic my build off of these so I can remember how everything's supposed to go or what's supposed to go where. So that's one thing I'm going to do. But other than that, we have everything out. So let me get the LSD out because we're definitely reusing this LSD. I'm trying to clean it up as much as possible. Things are expensive. So I'm trying to reuse this LSD, clean the bearings up and everything. But that's pretty much it. We're not reusing anything else. So let me get this out of here, cleaned up, and then I'll go get the other case. I'm gonna clean up the other case and bring it inside, and that way we can start the build process. All right, amidst me pulling out the LSD, as you can see, we're missing teeth on our final drive, and there's a little damage here on the transfer case, like the transfer gear. There's a little damage here, which I'm not worried. Like I said, I have a backup there for this as far as our final drive, and for the transfer case gear, we're going to like a helical kind of setup on that. so we don't have to worry about that as well. I got extra right there. So we need this to be not a helical, straight cut. We're going to do a straight cut on this gear. So it's going to be a straight cut here and a helical here. The straight cuts from PPG, and then the transfer case is from is PPG built. So that should hold us. Probably gonna reuse these bearings, spray them down as much as I can. There is a little bit of shavings in these bearings, but these bearings are pretty tough. So I'm gonna just spray all this stuff out with brake clean, try to get it out of there as much as possible. I do have some extra bearings, but I don't have a press. So I might try to take them and try to press them on, but if I can get it done right now, I'm gonna get it done right now. So we'll see, because I gotta get my car out of the shop by the end of this week, because they charge me like $5 a night. So I'm trying to not rush it, but I'm trying to make sure I get everything done. So let's start unpacking all this stuff. This is our extra stuff for our last transmission that we took apart in a video. Like I said, I'll post another link here for that video. You can see me break down a whole CRV all-wheel drive B series trans. But let's get this all taken apart and get this all ready to go, so we can get that stuff all good to go and start building the gears. All right, so we got our counter shaft and we got our main shaft. Cleaned them up. Everything should be clean now. Sprayed them down with some brake clean. Everything looks good. Now we're going to get to the building process of putting our new gears that are over there onto these, trying to embed them with where they're supposed to go. So like I said, I'm mimicking off of these. So we're going to put our first gear on first onto our main shaft. That's the first one that's supposed to go on. Then we have to put our hub and slider that we got, our custom one, and then we're gonna throw our second. Let me set it up and show you how it's gonna look. Okay. So what I did is I slid on the first gear. There's bearings that go inside the first gear because it's supposed to spin freely when this mechanism isn't locked into it. Let me show you. It's supposed to spin freely. So there's needle bearings in the middle of that one. Then I slid on the hub. Here's the hub right here, and the slider to go on. And it's supposed to be like a dog teeth engagement, as you can see. It'll lock into place like that, and they'll spin it. Might be a little delay, I don't know how it works, but it'll spin it. So next, we're gonna slide on second gear. As far as I see, second gear might have bearings in it as well. Actually, no, second gear doesn't look like it has bearings in it. It's oh, maybe it's locked, hold on. Nope, second gear still doesn't have bearings. So we'll go slide on second gear, which is this bad boy right here. It looks like it's supposed to have bearings in there. This is first to second, yo. Look like it's supposed to have something in there. It might be needle bearings in there. It's supposed to hold this on in place. So let me look and see what's supposed to go in there real quick. All right, guys, so I made a mistake. They send you these bearings. Not that one. They send you these bearings, right? I was wondering what they was for. So it comes with a seal here, as you can see. There's a seal already on it. And then there's another seal that's gonna just be hanging with this bearing. You wanna put that seal inside your first gear, right here. You see, it's sealing it off. You wanna put that seal in there and then throw on your hub, your slider, and we'll start to get everything else. So let me get the hub, the slider, and second gear on. I'll explain what I just did. Boom, just like that. We have first, second, and our slider on. There's this needle bearing like this, like I was saying, that they send me. I already put that in. So what I did is I put the second on. I slid this bearing over the top, right over, and pressed it right into the middle. So now everything is all perfect and set up. You have a locking first and second, somewhat of a poor man's dog box. Now we have to put on our stationary gears, starting with this one right here, and then we'll put on this one right here. They slide right onto these little prongs here. So let's get that on. So I didn't record putting on this one here, and this one as well. These are all like press bearings on. What I do is I take like the wooden side of my hammer, just like, you know, hit them on each side until they go all the way down. And then you just put these bearings on. Last but not least, we're gonna need our bolt. Tighten up our bolt and notch it again. And this gear stack will be set and ready to go. But you don't want to tighten up and notch it again, actually. You want to put it on. Then once you put everything into the case, that's when you notch these bad boys and tighten them, torque them down and all that. So I'm gonna put the bolt on it just so everything can stay attacked, but then we're gonna notch it once we get everything in the case. Now we can start working on the counter shaft. So I got everything already laid out. The locking mechanism is down there, so we're gonna start building this bad boy up, trying to get this as perfect as possible. You know what I'm saying? So doing all this by ear. So let's start. All right, so we put on this mechanism right here, which is our third gear. Then we'll throw in the hub in the middle, and then next we'll throw on the slider to go right over it, the locking mechanism. Boom. And then next will come fourth gear right after that to go boom, just like that. We do gotta throw the bearing inside the fourth. What's over there? So I'm gonna grab that, throw fourth gear bearing in there, and then we'll try to get on the other two. All right, so I got the GoPro in a position where it won't fall, hopefully. Show y'all me putting third gear on. So you come with this funny double needle bearing kind of setup here. Let me show you what it looks like. It's like a double needle bearing setup, like right here. Like, let me put this down. So both needle bearings set sides can come off, and in the middle there's like a shaft. So you want that next. So you get your fourth gear here, you'll slide that bad boy all the way down just like that, and then you'll get your double needle bearing set up and slide it right in the middle just like that. Then next it'll come this gear right here. This is a fifth gear, I believe. You'll need fifth gear and the synchros, because fifth gear is still going to be with synchros. It's just fourth, third, first, and second. The gears I use to race won't be. So you get fifth gear, slide that bad boy on just like that, and the synchros from fifth gear. Slide those bad boys on. These might need some love, so let me give these some love and I'll come right back. Right, so once you get this gear on, sliding this one's pretty easy, but you want to make sure that you have both synchro. You want to have that synchro in between this gear and this hub, and then you want to slide your slider on. It only goes on one way, so you have to like try to figure out what teeth go in the rear, and then last you have to put your other synchro on. So let me get this on and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, and just like that we have a counter shaft. So I went and put the bearing on. Let me show you. Put this bearing that goes on top. Then we have a spacer here. Then we have like this piece right here, and this the shim or the synchro that's in between in there somewhere. As you can see, I'm moving it with my thumb. So our counter shaft is a complete with our. Oh, I'm about to drop this thing. With our new hub and slider, like dog box kind of engagement hub and slider. So that's all good to go. So we set this right next to the main, right there. Now next we have to build our diff. We got to rebuild our diff, taking out the final drive gear, and we have to change out the PPG transfer case gear to the straight cut. So let's do that next. Okay, so this is our old LSD. If you look through it, you see that little rod inside of it. Well, it's not LSD. It's an old diff, or I forgot the fucking name. Differential. Old differential. This is our new differential. As you see in there, it's solid. There's no bar going across. This is a limited slip diff. This isn't. So what we're gonna do, as far as right now, is we're gonna take this final drive gear off, slap it onto this one, and get our straight cut PPG gear. We're gonna slap this one on right there because our transfer case is actually straight cut. It's not helical like these. So I'm not gonna do this right now. I'm probably gonna do this tomorrow. I gotta hit the bed so I can wake up in the morning for work, but we're not done. This video is not over, so I'll catch y'all tomorrow. All right, guys, so I just got off work, literally just got off work, and I was like, forget it. I'm just gonna knock out most of the work and then show y'all what it looks like after. So we got the new LSD in, well, the old LSD in with the new ring gear. And then we have a straight cut ring gear underneath this one that's gonna turn our billet transfer case. So it's straight cut, so I can't really show you. See how it's like they're straight and they're not helical like this? That's literally the only thing I've changed with that. The gears and everything turn. One thing I don't like about these gears is like they'll drop into place, obviously because of gravity and all that, but when you're driving and the actual mechanism is in here, it probably won't do it. But right now it is doing it. I can hold them up like that where they're not dropping in place and everything spins. I only got two hands, so I can't really show you, but oh yeah, I can. See if I can show you now. Oh, I can't, it's still stuck. All right, but everything spins freely and everything. Next we need to put the top on and get everything back in there, all this junk get back inside the transmission. Put our reverse back on. What else we need to do? We got a bunch of stuff to do, so I'm almost done with it. Once I get done with it, I'll probably show y'all the finished work of it actually working. Not to make this video so long, because it's already long because of yesterday, but it's in. So we're almost ready for race season. Tank's fucking hair is all over the damn place, per usual. But all right, guys. So I was planning on trying to close it up and finish it up, but then I realized one of my buddies hit me up and he was like, "Are you putting fifth gear back in that?" And he kind of talked me out of like having fifth gear. So I bought a fifth gear delete cuff. So what it is a cuff that's gonna hold both gear sets together. Let's see if I can take this off. All right, so like I was saying, it's a cuff that's gonna delete fifth gear. It's gonna delete this gear right here. We're gonna get this gear out of here. Or it deletes. I think it deletes this gear or both. It's one of those. It deletes either both of these or one of these. I can't remember. I think it deletes both of these plus the synchros here, and you'll keep these two bearings right here. I can't remember, but I know for a fact that I'm gonna go into the fifth gear cuff. I wasn't gonna do it, but now we're gonna wait a couple days and rather do it right than do it wrong. So we'll probably drop down to 4-speed, get a fifth gear cuff, and then fully send it instead of, you know, barely sending it like I was gonna do. So, but we're almost done. We just have to get that cuff in, and then we'll be able to seal this thing right up. So once we get the cuff, we'll be able to get right back to working on this. But I'm gonna catch y'all in the next video. Peace.